Thank you for joining us. I'm Dondria Blanchard.
And I'm Tori Boatner. We begin tonight with numbers from Iowa. The Iowa Democratic Party released more caucus results late Wednesday, with former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg holding onto a narrow lead with 26.2% of the delegates, as Senator Bernie Sanders pulled into a near tie with 26.1%. With 97% of the precincts reporting, Senator Elizabeth Warren was in third with 18.2%, followed by Vice President Joe Biden with 15.8%. Biden, who had been near the top in polls, acknowledged that the result was a setback for his campaign, saying, quote, "I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We took a gut punch in Iowa." While many eyes may be on the Democratic primaries, there's another important election hitting closer to home. As Take 30's Robert Lewis shows us, there are 3 Democrats vying for U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith's Senate seat.
With absentee ballots being handed out last week, we are getting closer and closer to March 10th, which is the official day for Mississippi and 6 other states to begin their primary elections.
With Mississippi primary elections coming up, the competition lies within the Democratic Party, where frontrunner Mike Espy will be going against 2 other candidates. I spoke with political science professor Steve Schaefer to get his opinions on the upcoming elections.
And I've been doing it for 40 years, and I still don't understand politics.
Winning numerous teaching awards such as Outstanding Political Science Professor on 5 occasions gives him a little room to joke.
I think you've got some good people running for different offices, so it's going to be fun. I think SB and Cindy Hyde-Smith are both good people, and that's why, you could have a real close election there.
This year's elections for the Mississippi Republicans isn't much of a competition, with Cindy Hyde-Smith getting an uncontested win since no one decided to run against her. Instead, the competition will be between the Democratic side, where there are 3 candidates running, but only one will get the chance to go against Hyde-Smith come November.
Well, I think the Republicans definitely have some presence in the National Congress, so I do think we have to keep stressing improving education and trying to attract more businesses.
If you have any questions or concerns about the location of your polling place, visit ms.gov for more information. From Take 30 News, I'm Robert Lewis.
In other political news, the Republican-controlled Senate on Wednesday acquitted President Trump on charges that he abused his power and obstructed Congress. The vote of the abuse of power allegation was 48 to 52, essentially along party lines. Senator Mitt Romney of Utah was the only Republican to join Democrats in voting guilty on the charge. Should you bleep the commander-in-chief? Take a look at this.
We first went through Russia. It was all.
Earlier today, President Trump reflected on the 2-year-long investigation by special counsel Robert Mueller that preempted 2 Ukraine-related articles of impeachment during a press conference for his acquittal. This was not the first time he used that word to describe Robert Mueller's investigation. He also used the term to describe the investigation while speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference in 2019.
Feeling lucky, Mississippi? After neighboring states passed laws allowing lottery ticket sales, Mississippi allowed the sale of lottery tickets to its residents late last year. Scratch-offs have been available since November, and as of January 30th, Mega Millions and Powerball tickets are available to purchase here in Mississippi. James Ellis from Starkville Gas Station Coconut says customers have shown plenty of interest in the new lotto tickets.
A lot of customers, they kind of fell off from the tickets, like normal customers that come up here and try and do it or put the pick numbers or whatever. But yeah, like as far as switching over, it's been I've seen a noticeable switch.
Workplaces have laws in place to protect people from discrimination based on gender and religion. But what about hair?
Take 30's Monica Mosley joins us now live with how some are fighting to protect their hair.
Thank you. It's called the Crown Act. It's a law first passed in California that stands for creating a respectful and open workplace for natural hair. It's the first of its kind and exists to stop discrimination against people like me with hair like this. Some people would like to see protections like this like this one here in Mississippi.
To work, school, or even a store and not feeling welcome. Despite America's newfound acceptance of artistic views, many people still face discrimination for their hair. In January of 2019, the Crown Act was passed. This comes a year after Andrew Johnson was forced to cut his hair to compete in the state wrestling meet, and less than 2 months after DeAndre Arnold was told he could not walk for graduation unless he cut his dreads. California attorney Tracy Belmore spoke of a time before African Americans had this kind of protection.
Before the Crown Act was passed, people would blatantly tell you, could you cut your braids? I'd like to hire you, but that afro is not going to work here.
According to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, there are laws like Title VII, which prohibits discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Mississippi residents are not strangers to situations like these, according to Mississippi State Director of Title IX, Brett Harvey.
We have had a couple of concerns brought to us about students who felt that they might have been viewed differently because of their overall appearance by a professor.
Mississippi has no explicit laws for discrimination based on hair.
You can legislate behavior. What you can't legislate is hate.
So far, New York, New Jersey, and California are the only states to pass the Crown Act.
Thank you, Monica.
After the break, more menu options, where you can find healthier fast food and why your favorite restaurant may soon expand its menu.
This is the best thing going at Mississippi State right now.
We are doing so many different things that we learned in the classroom that we are now getting to apply that I didn't even think that we would get to apply.
It's really invaluable. People that you meet, the connections that you're going to make are priceless as well.
PRISM is going to prepare you for the future.
You're getting something that most college students don't get in this major.
Just go for it. Like, there's really nothing to lose. You can only go up.
The real world experience is here while also getting the college credit.
There's so many different aspects to it outside of public relations.
We can use anybody's interest and anybody's expertise to really kind of go into public relations, because public relations is really all inclusive.
Don't let the name hold you back from applying, because we do need more people other than public relations.
Welcome back. The Super Bowl is behind us, and it was a big win for local businesses. Take 30's Tyler Hull stopped by a few businesses before the big game to see how they prepared.
The Super Bowl is a national event that is broadcast over millions of televisions, including those in local restaurants, and this brings a potential business boom.
This was the calm before the storm at Stagger Inn in Starkville. The kitchen staff and servers spent Saturday preparing for the big game.
We always have food prepped. Even on game days, we'll come in even 30 minutes earlier. So we got the restaurants like perfectly cleaned, everything's stocked up.
Bella Williams is a server at Stagger Inn. She was expecting a lot of people to join the fun at their favorite sports bars.
We have a ton of people that come and sit at the bar, grab some appetizers, watch the game. We even play the game on our speakers, so it's pretty crazy, it's pretty fun.
While sports bars expected an increase in business on Sunday, casual restaurants were not. Manager at Harvey's in Columbus, Bryant Bean, says that this is what his experience has been.
Sunday nights, typically in the restaurant business, are a little bit slower for the Super Bowl.
But they still prepared the kitchen and staff to make sure their loyal customers were comfortable.
Promote our bar that While it's not, like a sports bar, it's a nice bar where you can get a fresh made cocktail by our outstanding bartenders, enjoy the game in more of a calm atmosphere.
Tyler Hall, Take 30 News.
According to the National Retail Federation, those who watched Super Bowl 54 expected to spend an average of $88 on food, drinks, and party supplies for a total of $17.2 billion nationwide. Dondria?
Thank you, Tori. Lots of folks eat wings and pizza during the Super Bowl, but we should probably all eat a little healthier. Take 30's John Lee explains why plant-based options may soon be coming to a fast food restaurant in your area.
More and more fast food restaurants are hopping on the bandwagon and taking part in the vegan substitute food craze. KFC has been recently testing a new plant-based chicken recipe called Beyond Fried Chicken, something they did back in August of 2019 at a select location in Atlanta, Georgia. This vegan chicken had customers wrapped around the block, and it sold out within 4 to 5 hours. They're now back in the mainstream once again by reintroducing this plant-based chicken, and are competing with other vegan fast foods such as the Impossible Whopper from Burger King and the Beyond Breakfast Biscuit and Burger from Hardee's. And that's just to name a few.
It's a definite trend now, and I think it's probably a positive trend that we're going to see stick around for a while. Burger King has done really well with their Impossible Whopper, and then Hardee's has recently introduced the Beyond meat to their burgers and to some of their breakfast items. You want to do something as a fast food restaurant that sets you apart in a way from your competitors that matters to your customers. And for Burger King to be the first to really roll this out in a big way, they did that, and they did it well.
Since vegan options are the more healthy alternatives to things like the normal Whopper and normal fried chicken, sales in these products are skyrocketing, and there doesn't seem to be anywhere to go but up with plant-based food.
I do think it was a unique opportunity that they could be very profitable and lucrative in, because not many other fast food chains do offer vegan options, and it does provide it does promote the societal trend of vegan products and stuff like that as well. A lot of marketing techniques, especially vegan friendly items, are targeted toward younger audiences. So if the demand's there, they have the opportunity.
If these vegan food options continue to grow, plant-based foods could be the future of retail. John Lee, Take 30 News.
And add another store to the trend. Pita Pit in downtown Starkville has also begun to carry Beyond Meat in their store. Local Cajun favorite Obie's recently hired new management to take over for longtime manager and Obie himself, Don O'Bannon. The news comes after O'Bannon announced he was stepping down after 43 years of service at Obie's. The new owners, Ayer Spencer and David Calhoun, are good friends of O'Bannon's and owners of the Oxford Obie's prior to taking on Starkville's branch. Obie's is a staple of Starkville dining, and Calhoun hopes to keep it that way, but expand on their catering where it rivals Oxford.
We're trying to build the catering sales here. We do quite a bit in Oxford.
Obie's is open 7 days a week, and despite the new management, O'Bannon's original vision of Cajun dining in Starkville remains. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more Take 30 News after the break.
Prism is a full-service media marketing agency that students are the ones that do these communication projects for off-site clients.
What excited me about it was that it gave me that real-life PR firm experience.
I really wanted that real-world experience. I wanted to be able to feel like I was working in an environment that was actually making a difference.
We're not just turning in an assignment, you get a grade and you're done. We have to turn it in, but we also have to see it through to make sure that it's doing how we have expected it to do, to make sure that it's a well representation of our clients.
I can write things down on paper all day, but it's very different when you're actually getting out there and making those moves.
We get to see our products come to life in a different aspect and seeing them go out into the real world.
This is kind of mirrors that in a way, whereas students, oh my gosh, students are literally working for clients and they're posting on this person's social media. It's like an internship, but at the same time, it's this is how it is in the real world.
I love that moment where the things you've been learning in the classroom for the last 2, 3, 4 years as a student in PR, the moment where it clicks and the moment where you're like, oh, that's why we do that, that's why we learn that, or that's why this makes sense, or that's why this is important, and getting to kind of see that moment or experience that moment for myself where I'm like, okay, that's why this, 20-page research paper I wrote last semester actually matters, and this is how I'm using it.
The most rewarding part about working with a real-world client has to be just making connections. And you get to know people, you get to know, high up people.
Every single day is 100% different than the next day, which makes it really fun and dynamic, and it's a really culture of agency lifestyle in itself. You never do the same thing every single day in an agency lifestyle, so we wanted to make sure Prism had that.
If you want to be the person that stands out, on a resume or a job interview or anything like that, when they see Prism, that's what's going to make you stand out.
Actor Kirk Douglas, a star of Hollywood's golden age, died Wednesday at his home in Beverly Hills. He was 103. Douglas starred in more than 80 movies, including Spartacus and Gunfight, at the OK Corral before retiring from film in 2004. He was nominated for the Best Actor Academy Award 3 times and received an honorary Oscar in 1996. Elon Musk's company, Tesla, shares dropped by 17% on Wednesday as analysts warned the stock was priced too high after the stock rose 40% in 2 days. Senior executives said the coronavirus outbreak in China would delay deliveries of its Model 3 electric cars from its Shanghai plant. Tesla remained up by 25% since it reported its second straight quarterly profit a week ago. Let's turn it over to Andre Brooks with a preview of Take 30 Sports. Andre?
We have Take 30 Sports after the break, but first, learning about your community and campus just got a lot easier. Here's a look at some changes made to the Reflector's website.
Hello, my name is Brandon Grisham and I'm the online editor here at The Reflector. We've made a few updates to our website and we'd like to share them with you. If you visit the website for The Reflector, you will see numerous layout changes and exciting new features. The largest addition is the Publication Archive. The archive features every printed issue of The Reflector going back to 2011. By clicking on the plaque with the corresponding year, you can take a look at the reported history of Mississippi State University. Each year is separated by fall and spring semesters, as these were the publication ranges. Another addition is the History tab, which includes various pages that document the history of The Reflector. Our paper began in 1884, and as the oldest paper in the SEC, we have an interesting and eclectic history. A fun example is the history of our website logos. Feel free to view more of the changes to The Reflector's website at reflector-online.com. Thank you for watching.
I'm Cash Matlock from the Wednesday crew in the fall of 2018.
Learning, growing, becoming. Take 30 News at MSU.
My name is Donovan Andrade. I graduated from a high school in the Middle East. I wanted to find a college that best suits home for me, and I found it here. Out of all of the universities, Mississippi State tops them all. MSU's theater program is unique to me because it's challenging, it's energetic, and it can also make you very open-minded to the world. Theater has its own community where you're never really alone. Everyone around you is family, and it felt like home.
You hear about it most every week in the fall. Some player, somewhere, is fighting for his life after a head injury. Those are the days when the game stops being a game. So I started thinking about armors in nature. For example, rams are protected when they collide. Could that guiding principle be applied to football helmets? We're replicating this process with the hopes of reducing concussions. We're taking strides to save lives. Why do we do this? For the praise? To be esteemed as research pioneers? No, not at all. This is for them, the kids, and making sure the game keeps being a game.
Welcome to Take 30 Sports. I'm Andre Brooks. Baseball's Cowbell Yell was scheduled for Wednesday night. It was originally moved to an indoor facility due to forecasted rain, but after a severe storm warning was issued by the National Weather Service, the athletic department announced that the event was postponed. But don't worry, the show will go on. The event is now scheduled for Tuesday the 11th, and the first 1,000 fans will get a free t-shirt. Coach Mike Leach put the finishing touches on his first signing class at MSU. In addition to high-profile transfers like J.K. Costello, Leach was able to sign Starkville High standout Rufus Harvey. He was ranked the number 3 wide receiver in Mississippi by 24/7 Sports. He became only the third 1,000-yard receiver in Starkville High School history. Currently, State's 2020 class ranks number 25 nationally by ESPN. Head coach Mike Leach has been a busy man. He will bring all but 2 of his coaches from Washington State to Starkville. Coach Tony Hughes will stay on as associate head coach. He's the only holdover from the Joe Moorhead era. The other new coach is Jason Washington. He was most recently the recruiting coordinator for the University of Texas. Women's basketball is back on the road Thursday night for a top 25 matchup with 23rd ranked Tennessee in Knoxville at 5:30 p.m. tonight on the SEC Network. This will be a hard week for the team as they play 3 games in 6 days. With Mississippi State currently 8 and 1 in SEC play, the Bulldogs have their sights set on a 3rd consecutive SEC title. The last program to do that, Tennessee, from 2001 to 2004. Don't touch that remote. We'll be back after this break.
Everyone remembers their favorite teddy bear, the reassuring love of their first puppy. They comforted us and made us laugh. For children battling abusive situations or post-traumatic stress disorder, the memories aren't as pleasant. That's why at Mississippi State University, we're pioneering a robotic technology that brings healing to those exposed to traumatic situations. Known as Therabot, MSU's robotic beagle includes lifelike features that allow it to move in ways that are both natural and nurturing. Its ultimate goal? To bridge the gap between 2 types of effective therapy, using real animals and their plush counterparts for emotional assistance. At MSU, we're proud to be changing the game in therapeutic recovery. Even prouder to be putting lives back together again.
Have you ever thought about becoming a teacher, but the challenges of life or travel restrictions keep holding you back? Mississippi State can get you there. With our convenient online courses, you can earn a degree in elementary education while learning from MSU professors on a schedule that works for you. And the best part? Graduates enjoy high job placement across the state. So why wait? Take the first step toward a better, more fulfilling career, no matter where you are.
Lights, cameras, and storytelling. This was all a part of the art project, A Piece of My Mind. Last week, MSU students got a chance to express their thoughts on peace and unity.
I had a chance to go behind the project and experience students sharing their personal stories and learning about others.
Pictures that I took on my phone were like specific articles that I just felt like really hit me spiritually. and I just related to them in a lot of ways.
Student Madison Roberts said the A Piece of My Mind exhibit in studio was a spiritual experience.
It made me feel really individualized. Like even more so, I already am confident in who I am and who God has called me to be, but it just, reading these really enforced that for me. Hearing other people's stories, that meant a lot.
Mississippi State's Holmes Cultural Diversity Center recently hosted John Notner, founder of the A Piece of My Mind project. The exhibit featured double-sided banners with photographs and stories highlighting people's backgrounds from all aspects of life. Notner travels to universities, workshops, and elementary schools, encouraging dialogue as an avenue to overcome societal differences.
When people come and they start hearing these stories, when they start reading the stories, it opens up conversations about common ground. It opens up conversations about how we can understand one another a little bit better.
Through his work and photography, he has traveled 40,000 miles across the country seeking to share personal stories of what peace means from diverse perspectives. The Minnesota native said the goal of his work is to promote unity and dialogue within humanity.
So students are able to come in here and sign this release form that says, when have you seen unity among differences at Mississippi State? So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is
Once students are done filling out the form, they can head over here to the mini studio where they're able to get a chance to take a picture with the notable and award-winning John Notner.
The photographer and storyteller gave visitors an opportunity to share their own meanings of unity and take a photograph to be featured in future exhibits.
The event wrapped up last week, and participants' photographs and stories will become shared on social media by the A Piece of My Mind project. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tori Belkner.
And I'm Dondria Blanchard. You can also join us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Bulldog News, msstate.edu. Thank you for joining us. Good night.